Hi, I'm Eddie, and this time I'm taking you to Florence, one of Italy's most beautiful and historically significant cities. Known as the birthplace of the Renaissance, Florence is a treasure trove of art, architecture, history, and incredible food. From magnificent piazza and churches to charming streets and hidden gems, join me as we explore everything this remarkable Tuscan city has to offer. Of places to go, let's start with the Florence Cathedral, also known as Il Duomo or Santa Maria del Fiore. This is one of the most famous landmarks in Florence and a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Construction began in 1296 under architect Arnolfo di Cambio on the site of the older church of Santa Reparata. The cathedral took more than 140 years to complete and became a symbol of Florence's wealth and artistic ambition during the Renaissance. Its most famous feature is the enormous red-tiled dome designed by Filippo Brunelleschi between 1420 and 1436. The Medici Chapels, part of the Basilica of San Lorenzo in Florence, were built as a grand burial place of the powerful Medici family who ruled Florence during the Renaissance. Construction of the famous Medici Chapels began in the 16th century. The most celebrated section, the new sacristy, was designed by the renowned Renaissance artist Michelangelo. He created stunning sculptures for the tombs of Giuliano and Lorenzo de' Medici, including the famous statues Day, Night, Dawn, and Dusk. His work blended architecture and sculpture in a revolutionary way that influenced generations of artists. Orsanmichele began in the 13th century as a grain market and storage hall built on the site of a former monastery garden. Its name comes from Saint Michel in Otto, meaning Saint Michel in the garden. After a sacred image of the Virgin Mary inside the building became associated with miracles, Orsanmichele gradually transformed into a church while still serving commercial purposes. Piazza della Repubblica is a large, elegant square in the historic center of Florence, built on the site of the city's ancient Roman Forum. Today, it's one of the most lively and polished piazzas in the city, surrounded by cafes, shops, and historic landmarks. Piazza della Signoria is the historic heart of Florence and one of the city's best areas for sightseeing. Around this square, you'll find famous museums, sculptures, churches, shopping streets, and cafes, all within a short walk. Palazzo Vecchio is Florence's medieval town hall with impressive halls, Renaissance artwork, and a tower you can climb for city views. Loggia dei Lanzi was built between 1376 and 1382 as a public space for ceremonies and official events of the Florentine Republic. The open-air structure stands beside Piazza della Signoria and was designed in a Gothic style with wide arches that allowed citizens to gather and watch important civic occasions. Over time, the loggia became an open-air sculpture gallery displaying some of Florence's most famous Renaissance statues. Its masterpieces include The Rape of the Sabine Woman by Guillaume Bologna and Perseus with the Head of Medusa by Benvenuto Cellini. At the same piazza, you will find Uffizi Gallery, and it is one of the most famous art museums in the world, especially known for its incredible collection of Renaissance masterpieces. Inside, you'll find paintings, sculptures, and historical rooms that trace the development of Italian art over centuries. If you're traveling with kids, there's a story about a carved face on Palazzo Vecchio wall. Did Michelangelo carve this? Local tradition claims Michelangelo supposedly carved a small profile face into the stone. He was said to be bored during a political discussions. Ponte Vecchio, meaning Old Bridge, is Florence's most famous bridge and dates back to 1345, making it the oldest bridge in the city. It was built over the Arno River after earlier wooden bridges were destroyed by floods. Unlike many bridges in Florence, Ponte Vecchio survived World War II and remains one of the city's most iconic landmarks, famous for its historic charm, jewelry stores, and beautiful river views. Piazza di Santa Maria Novella is one of the best piazzas in Florence to visit. It's large, there's plenty of space, and places to sit down and relax. Basilica of Santa Maria Novella is one of Florence's most important churches and a masterpiece of the Renaissance architecture. Construction began in 1279 by the Domitian order on the site of an older church, and it became a major religious and intellectual center in the city. The church is especially famous for its striking marble facade completed in the 15th century by Leon Battista Alberti. Alberti combined Gothic and Renaissance elements to create one of the most elegant churches facades in Italy. Piazza di Santa Croce is one of Florence's most historic and lively squares, located in front of the famous Basilica di Santa Croce. The square dates back to the medieval period and became an important gathering place for public events, religious celebrations, and festivals. Another quieter and great piazza and church to explore. Piazza della Santissima Annunziata is one of Florence's most beautiful and harmonious squares, known for its Renaissance architecture and peaceful atmosphere. Located a short walk from the Duomo, the piazza is surrounded by historic buildings, churches, and museums. Hidden away in the square, the Basilica della Santissima Annunziata is famous for its miraculous fresco of the Virgin Mary and its beautiful decorated Baroque interior. From the outside, you hardly guess it's a church at all, which makes discovering it feel even more special. It's one of Florence's true hidden gems and one of my favorite smaller churches in Italy. Basilica di Santa Maria Maggiore is one of the oldest churches in Florence, with origins dating back to early Christian period, possibly as early as 4th or 5th century. It's a quieter and lesser known historic church. What's interesting, and in particular if you're traveling with kids, there's the legend La Berta story. Florentine folklore gives it personality. A woman named Berta allegedly warned citizens of a betrayal or saved the city in some versions. As a reward, she was turned into stone or immortalized in the church wall. How do you get around Florence? You will most likely arrive in Florence by train at Firenze Santa Maria Novella railway station, the city's main train station and central transport hub. One useful tip when traveling by train in Italy is to arrive at least an hour before departure, especially during busy travel periods. Platform numbers are often displayed only shortly before boarding, sometimes around 10 to 20 minutes prior. So it's a good idea to stay near the departure boards and be ready to move once your platform is announced. When traveling between Italian cities, keep your luggage close and be prepared to exit quickly. Many trains stop for only a few minutes before continuing to the next destination. Florence itself is a compact and very walkable city, with most major attractions located within easy walking distance of each other. A great area to stay is within 15 minutes walk of Firenze Santa Maria Novella rail station, allowing you to easily reach your accommodation on foot while staying close to Florence's main sites, restaurants, and shopping streets. If you need a break from walking, Florence also has a reliable bus and tram network that can help you get around the city or reach destinations across the Arno River, including the beautiful gardens and scenic viewpoints on the other side of the river. Florence is packed with incredible food, and the Mercato Centrale, also known as Florence Central Market, is one of the best places to experience authentic Tuscan cuisine and local culture. The market is filled with fresh produce and traditional food stalls, and some of the city's most famous local dishes. It can get extremely busy, especially on weekends, so it's best to arrive before the lunch rush to enjoy the atmosphere and grab a table more easily. You will find fresh pasta, cheeses, meats, olive oils, and local produce on the ground floor, restaurants and food counters upstairs serving Florentine steak, pizza, truffle dishes, gelato, and more. Lampredotto is a traditional Florentine street food made from the fourth stomach of a cow, slowly simmered for hours in a flavorsome broth with herbs, tomatoes, onions, celery, and carrots until tender. You must try the famous Florentine steak, a thick, juicy and incredibly flavorsome Tuscan specialty traditionally cooked over charcoal. It's usually served rare and large enough to share, make it perfect for enjoying with family or friends. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a happy holiday.